So very soon we are going to have The Boys season 5 episode 5. Oh boy, man, I've made a lot of videos praising this. I've made a video not praising this show, but when I go on YouTube and then I see people like completely bashing this show, and I actually realize that it's not actually their fault when they are hating this show, because this show went too long, too many filler episodes, too many filler things going on for no purpose. It became what it was making fun of. Means it was making fun of the superhero movies like Marvel and DC, and they they have got so many. Like DC didn't really was not able to do it, but Marvel had so many of their filler movies that nothing is going on, no story plot is going ahead. It's just a superhero origin story. So many times it happened, and these people, they also did the same. That for fourth season, I would be more precise, was completely unnecessary. It just feels like now if you see the events of The Boys season 5, you are like, why would Billy Butcher do something like that to Victoria if he was going to play like this? By the end of season 4, we were made to believe that Billy Butcher is going to go his own way now. He's going to find people, he's going to hunt soups down, he's going to do some crazy stuff. But by the end of this show, we realized that nothing like this is going on. So I just, season 3 of The Boys is one of the best seasons ever, and it is the most watchable one. I have watched it so many times, rewatch. So that is one of the best things that came out of this show. But then at the same time, season 4 was complete letdown. Season 2 also was, they had Stormfront and they had some interesting things going on. They introduced the character of Ryan, and that whole thing, everything going on between Ryan and Homelander, and the death of Becca herself. That was a great show, but I think it was too long. Why? If season 1 and 2 would have been one season, and season 3 would have been an independent season, and season 4 and 5 would have been one season, this probably would have been one of the best written shows ever. If the writing had become much more nuanced and condensed, it would have really helped the people. It would have really helped the makers of the show. So this is a study. This show ultimately end up becoming a study of what not to do, what one should not do when making a TV show. When writing a web series or TV show, what one should not do is that they should not dread something that cannot be dread. Some storylines are just so silly. Now they have got 4 episodes left, and there are some characters which are just useless right now. Black Noir, what's gonna happen to him, man? I think Billy Butcher is going to just do something, to him, something like this, or Deep will do something to him, or Homelander will just get angry over him over something. That's it. He's done. Billy Butcher, means Black Noir are now completely unnecessary superhero. Means he's just of no use in that show, and then they have to conclude so many characters like Starlight. They have to conclude so many people Soldier Boy, and they have to be so careful with who to not let go on screen, who to keep and who to not, because so that would really going to define, that will completely going to define that people will like this show or not, based on who they let go and who they do not let go. I know it sounds terrible, but it is the truth, ultimate truth. What else do I say about this TV show? That's it from my side, man. I just wish if it was a smaller TV show, if it was like only 3 or 4 seasons, 4 seasons would have been more than enough to suffice everything in this show. Otherwise, the writing is not really completely bad. Like they have some good moments. Like there's one very nice moment that I just recently, when I watched some episodes a lot of that show. I was one episode in which Billy Butcher is getting beaten by people in a club, and that just shows how much pain is his character in that. He just, because he's just helpless, like he's fighting someone who is just so much more powerful than him, that he just feels so embarrassed and he just feels so sad about it. That's such a sad situation. And that beautiful, that beautiful scene in which he literally goes to a pub and he literally is like, hey, fight me, and people fight him, people beat him, and he actually is enjoying that. That is such a peak level of writing. Even like many other characters, like Stormfront was a very good character too, and they concluded her very, very, very well. But the problem they did was, Stormfront was a good written character. Starlight also, they have given her some really good moments, and that is beautiful. Kimiko, they have given some great moments, but then it's just that I can just totally understand the frustration of people right now who are like, this is just too much, man. This is like the past 2 seasons have been complete disappointment. Like the past 2 seasons have been literally a Marvel movie, like a generic Marvel movie, not like a Infinity War or Endgame, like a generic Marvel movie, that you are you have to just watch it because you like the whole franchise, you have to watch that thing because sometimes they make good movies, that's the whole rationale of watching, that's the whole rationale of watching Boys too, the Boys season 5 episode 4, many people were like, what is even going on, and I totally appreciate, I totally understand them. My god, I'm yawning. So that's it from my side. I wish things were different. I wish the writers had if they forced writers to write 5 seasons, there was no reason to do it. Like they introduced the character of Sister Sage and even Firecracker, that has become so important now for the whole plot, and that is just useless. The main characters are supposed to be, of course, Homelander, Billy Butcher, Yui, Starlight, and then of course Frenchie, Kimiko, and all these people, and then also this guy. From this side, the main guy is supposed to be Soldier Boy. The Deep is there, that's good. But then many of these characters they bought, just this Firecracker, she's literally no use. What should I say about her? And who else? Firecracker. Who else is there in the show? Sister Sage also, it just doesn't feel believable, the way she carries her character. Acting is not really top notch. Sometimes she acts well, sometimes she does not. So she's just like the show, and sometimes she has something to do also. Sometimes she does not have anything to do. It's just like the last episode, she's literally sitting there and just trying to play a political plot, and just the whole scenario of Sister Sage being hired by Homelander, and she can literally do a lot of stuff. She can literally get in means it's just a crazy means. Sister Sage was not there in the last episode at all for only 2 or 3 minutes, whereas she's supposed to be the smartest person in the world. She should be very quickly given solutions of problems to people, but she's not able to, and that's funny. That's really crazy. Okay, I will just be out now. Thank you so much for listening to me.